All right, fantastic. As you can see, Alan is with me today. We got some special stuff for you. Before we turn Amy and Miriam loose on all their spring shenanigans, first I want to say thank you for being here. This is the April webinar. Yeah, we're celebrating spring, but there are some massive things that we're going to be taking up with you. Very time-sensitive things that we want you to be aware of from a marketing perspective. So we're going to have some fun in the beginning of this, but there's business to be talked about here. Just a quick thing. We got Dr. Mark Dill in the house. Dr. Dill, I've heard amazing things about your presentation to the ACES meeting, which had 640 attendees, maybe even more than that. So let's all give Dr. Mark Dill a big round of applause for pulling in that many people, and the content that you covered, Doctor, was just fantastic. So well done on that one. Hey, Dr. Dill, if you wouldn't mind unmiking a bit here, unmuting, what would you say some of the broad strokes were of your presentation, just real quick? And what did you hear the most back on? Like, what did people like the most? Just curious from a survey perspective.
Probably the ambassador program, really. People wanted to know more about the ambassador program. And, my idea was not necessarily to implement the ambassador program exactly the way that we've implemented it, but to be able to give people the idea that, yes, you may have someone that oversees the marketing, but a lot of times you can enlist the help of everybody else as well, and they can create content. And so now you've got a lot of people in the office, or several people in the office, using their creativity to be able to come up with content, or just to be able to document the comings and goings and the humanality of an office.
Fantastic. So for those that weren't there at the ACES meeting, first, that's a flunk for not attending. No, but so what Dr. Dill's talking about is he has created a very structured ambassador program where he's taking some of his team members who, they're active on social media and they love creating and such. And he creates a very specific agreement with them so they just can't do wildly whatever they want. It's all within the confines of policy and directives and that sort of thing. But they can create, and he, rewards them for likes, shares, and comments. And then, of course, there's all sorts of games to be had on that. But he's actually, in effect, turned his staff into influencer creators for his practice. Now, some of them have activities in their life. They're doing this on the side or that on the side, or this just as a hobby or that just for fun. This is what has been a new advance in his marketing. Dr. Dill now has 3 practices. Those practices all expanding widely. And this ACE meeting was all around getting referrals. And the points you took up, Dr. Dill, on referrals and the importance of it were just phenomenal. I'd like, by show of hands, everybody here, there are all different types of new patients. We love new patients, any type of new patient. We love new patient flow. But of all the different channels that you get new patients from, how many of you like your referrals the most? Raise your hand. Yeah, that's what that was all about. And I would love, maybe we could do a little version of the ACES meeting at a future webinar, Dr. Dill. I don't know if you're down for that. Fantastic. Okay, good. So, Amy, Miriam, over to you for the spring shenanigans.
Okay, good. So we have many shenanigans, but the biggest, littlest one that's happening right now, and some of our VIPs know this. Dr. Dill, you don't know this, and that's why it warms my heart that you actually came, because I have here, can you guys see this? Which camera are we on, Miriam?
This one.
This is Clarence, Babito Sugar Pop. He's so sweet. He is a 2-3 week old baby duck. And the cuteness of this is that, we all want to get our marketing ducks in a row. And so I wanted to show you that I'm serious. He's sweet as pie. He's black with he really wants to kamikaze 2 out of my hands. So baby, it's okay. And the cuteness of this is that my friend, whose duck this is, she wanted ducks, but the duck parents would not hatch their eggs. So she took one of their eggs and gave it to a chicken. The mom is in a crate underneath on the side of us. She's a tiny chicken. She's like a miniature chicken, and she's the mom of this duck. This duck thinks it's a chicken, and the mom is a chicken. So he wants you to get your ducks in a row. And thank you to Gloria Jones, who was driving a moment ago, for his middle name is Bebito, which apparently means baby in Spanish. And Clarence, because I love that name, and Sugar Pop, because my son wanted to contribute to the name Sugar Pop. So we want your ducks in a row, and that's what this webinar is about. Organic traffic. How are you going to do that? And he really cares. He actually doesn't, but I do. I do.
Now, I'm just going to jump in here. For those of you who are kind of on the more conservative side, those of you who like, let's get down to business, you're probably going, what the duck is a duck doing in, a webinar? I would understand that sentiment, but I will tell you this. Miriam and Amy are probably going to do a couple photos today, and those photos on social media are probably going to get more traction than anything else we've posted. Just so you know, marketing isn't about necessarily always that which makes sense and analytical this and appropriate that. Have some fun with your marketing. Raise your hands if you've seen that to be true. Raise your hands if you've seen getting out there and doing something a little bit different. And then we got a couple people here doing this. I don't know if I can. And that's okay too. If you want to just keep it nice and sterile, you can do that. But I'll tell you, marketing is interrupting. Marketing is stepping outside and getting attention. And if anybody here is on social media and you're scrolling, about how long you give a post before you scroll the next one. What do you say? What would you say?
I mean, depending on the post, it can be a few seconds.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe. So think about those of you who are swipers. So what's going to get somebody to stop swiping? And it's going to be something that's a little bit out of the ordinary. There is a formula. It's a 3-step formula. Mr. Hubbard lays it out very clearly, but to get someone's attention, the first thing you need to do is you need to attract. And you got to understand that people today are in the grind. They're over commercialized in any marketing that you do, anything you do on social media, your website, your Google business profile, anything like that. I want you to think you want to get your message across, but that's point 3. That's point 3 of a 3-step process. The first step is attract. Second step is interest. And the third step is get your message across. What does attract mean? Get someone's attention, get them to stop scrolling, get them to stop and look. Think about driving down the freeway. When you're driving down the freeway, what speed are you going at? Put it in the chat. What speed are you going at going down the freeway? Those of you in LA, I know you're going to type in, 10 miles an hour because traffic. But typically, 65 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour. Okay, maybe some of you shouldn't put your speed in here. 80, yeah. Leave it at that. Don't do that. This is public. So you're driving. You're going to look at a billboard. How long are you going to look at that billboard? Put that in the chat now. You're going to glance at a billboard. How long are you going to glance? I'm not. I'm not looking at them. 3 seconds, 5 seconds. No, you are not spending 5 seconds looking at a billboard, man. You're going to end up in a ditch unless you got a Tesla. Milliseconds. Thank you, Andrew. And Mr. Hubbard said back in the 70s, that's 1970s. He said you got about a quarter of a second to get someone's attention in that attract step. Did you all get that? About a quarter of a second. Think about how fast that is. I'm going to say start and you all say stop a quarter second later. Ready? Start. Okay, we're going to try it again because you're too slow. You got a quarter of a second. Start. I don't see lips moving. Come on, Destiny. I want to see those lips moving. Okay, here we go. Start. Yeah, that's how fast you have. So I want you to think about that from a marketing perspective. It is vital, vital, vital that you are 100% quick and you're getting that attention. So over to you, Miriam, Amy.
So we have some clients, some are with us and some are not, but I wanted to give a specific shout out to these guys for their hard work. First is Gloria Jones. Are you here?
She is.
So Gloria is the manager and wife of Andre Jones, and they have a wonderful practice in San Antonio, Texas. They're into their 6th month of highest ever new patients collections production. So everyone give them a hand. They work their tails off and deserve every accolade there is. We have Dr. Amy Guerin, who will be arriving with her flower crown. Dr. Guerin won the game. So we have a game amongst our clients. Dr. Guerin, I see you.
She needs to unmute because she's got a very special asset in her hands right there. It's actually...
Yeah, but that chicken's not even real.
I know, but it's cool and we need to hear it. Doctor, can you unmute, please? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
So Dr. Amy Guerin won our game last month, which is a huge deal for, and this is what this webinar is about, organic traffic. She recorded the highest number of videos for her website, and her statistics are great. Her and her account manager are besties, and she's killing it. We have Dr. Reiser, who isn't with us today, also highest ever new patients and collections. Dr. Young, also not with us today, highest ever new patients. Dr. Patel, highest ever new patients collections production. Demi Athens, Dr. Athens.
Dr. Demi Athens.
Yeah, Dr. Demi Athens. She also had highest ever production collection and collections production. Anyway, all of these guys, not all of them, but all of them are in various ways really, really in touch with their account managers and doing what needs to be done, under their direction. So shout out to you guys. Very well done. We know it's hard one because you're dentists and you're owners and you have a lot going on. So the fact that you are killing it is just amazing. Clarence says well done too. Clarence is the black baby duck that's sitting in Miriam's hand.
Nice. So listen, I'm going to get down to some business now. I want you all to raise your hands and tell me if you've seen AI messages coming in about, I'm saying marketing for AI, like, hey, you should actually do AI in marketing. Raise your hand if you've heard that, seen that, or you think that maybe you should. Okay, so the answer to that question is you absolutely should. There are also messages out there, in and around the idea of maybe, we should do AI and we don't need marketing companies or services and that sort of thing. And you could say, well, okay, good. Possibly. We're here to dispel some of that, but in addition, tell you some things that you need to know. So I think a number of you are using Google still. Raise your hand if you use Google to search. Okay, good. Now, how many of you are searching ChatGPT, Gemini, or some other AI engine for business searches? Right. Almost as many hands. And I'm going to tell you right now that whether you think you are or you're not, you actually are, even if you're using Google. This is actually part of Google search now is they've got Gemini, which is Google's search, built in. So a lot of you have probably seen when you search something in Google now, there's an AI summary. Thumbs up if you've seen that. It's an AI summary. That AI summary is grabbing data about your practice. And it's not just grabbing data from your Google business profile or your reviews. Put it in the chat. Where is it getting that data from? Yes, from your website. Yes, from Google reviews and such. But where else? Social media. Correct, Kathleen and Beth. Where else? Reviews. Definitely Destiny and Graham. It's grabbing from reviews. Platforms including Yelp, WebMD. It's going to MapQuest, if anybody remembers MapQuest. It's all over the place. What does that mean for you? You need to be all over the place and you need to be in good shape in those areas. A lot of people thought, well, okay, good. I just need to make sure that Google knows my Google business profile and my website. And that's just not the case anymore. Third-party mentions across the web are a massive part of that. And so you need to be mentioned across third-party platforms. And what does that mean, Alan? So if they got to be mentioned across third-party platforms,
yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Like you said, there's places where you get reviews. There's citations, which are places that list your business, that have your name, your address, your phone number.
Give a couple examples of citations so they know.
I mean, WebMD, Facebook, any of those places that you would find a listing like that.
The easiest way to do that is you just Google yourself,
right.
Google your practice. And then every listing down the left-hand side is what's called a citation. It's called a listing, a citation. It's like an online phone book. Somewhere in there, you're mentioned. And generally because your name, address, and phone number, it's called an NAP, is listed there. So all of those are the high-ranking ones. If it's on page 1 of Google, that's a high-ranking listing or a high-ranking citation. So those are third-party mentioned citations. Anything else that comes to mind?
Yeah, I mean, Quora or Reddit, you're being found a lot more now. The tools that are searching for you now, like you have obviously Google, which everyone thinks of. You have ChatGPT. They're going along the same kind of places. They're searching for you in the main spots that we're aware of, your website, Google business reviews, Yelp reviews, as well as all those citations that I mentioned.
Yeah.
And then they're going on Quora, they're going on Reddit, they're doing a much deeper review, and they're doing your social medias as well, hugely.
Yeah.
That's bigger now than it's ever been.
Yeah. And one thing you might not know, and was a bit of a surprise to us, is that Google and every other AI engine out there is sending out, we're not going to get technical, but things that go out and scrape your website. But that includes now any videos that you have, the transcripts that we post for your Gold platform members. It's actually listing the testimonial videos. So the testimonials that you're putting on your website, it's actually going and listing that video. It's transcribing it and giving feedback to the person searching. I'm going to play something for you that is one of our clients recently did this. And this is Dr. Rich Salvatore. He did this because he gets so many questions about this. People were saying, it seems like people are wondering if we do facelifts and such, and they definitely don't do facelifts or, injections and that sort of thing. But what he did is he did a video, and it was on this subject. He just did it as part of his Gold platform. And I want you all to watch this as if you are a patient.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Rich from Salvatore Dental. I wanted to speak to you today about the effect that our full mouth implant rehabs have on our patients. Particularly the question we always get is how and why does the patient's face look completely different? It's a really, really valid and good question because a lot of times you see our before and after pictures and it literally looks like a different human being from the before to the after. And this was a little puzzling to me at first, honestly. I got into full mouth rehabilitation with implants about 5 years ago or so. And I always knew that
and the audio is very soft. Is there a way to increase it?
Okay, good. I'm going to lift the volume. But I'm glad that we're pausing because what I want you all to do as we go through this, I want you to think of what's called a keyword. A keyword when you're searching Google or any platform is something like implants, teeth whitening. It's what do you want to be found for? Full mouth rehab, veneers, cosmetic dentistry. And as we play this video, I'm going to start it over. As we play this video, what I want you to do is I want you to count the keywords. You don't have to write them down. Why is this important? Everything that Dr. Salvatore is saying is now being recorded by him, a true authority. What does authority have to do with SEO, search engine optimization?
It's hugely important. Obviously, Google's not going to just take into account any single person. If that's the case, then anyone can make a million different websites that point back to you. So it wants to take creditable authority websites, Facebook, Google, whatever, the huge websites that actually count that Google is aware of and knows that your opinion on that matter.
And that you are a valid person of a valid opinion and you are a true authority. Anybody can, like Alan just said, anybody can write a website today and position themselves as an authority. That's one of the dangers of AI. You could have done it before, but it would have been a lot of work. Today, you could write a website and not be an authority in that area at all and appear like an authority. So that's a huge liability, especially in the field of medical. Google and many other search engines have downgraded anything that looks like it's AI generated from anything that's not a valid authority. So here we have a video being done by Dr. Salvatore, who is Dr. Salvatore, and it links up to a person and a real face. It's not AI. And Dr. Salvatore is talking on certain things. So the authority ranking just went way up on this post. The next thing that went way up is called originality, meaning everything that's coming out of Dr. Rich's mouth is from his heart. He is talking and he's a trained speaker now. You should have seen when he first came to MGE. And he's like, I'm not doing videos. I'm not doing social media. I don't like talking. We got him to do a few videos. And I mean, it looked like somebody was holding a gun to his head or something like that. His first videos were like this. Hello, my name is Rich Salvatore. And that's fine. That was the first videos. He's been doing that now for a while. So he's a very smooth speaker. The message I'm giving you here is that if it's uncomfortable for you to do video, it will only be uncomfortable for about 10 videos. And then you're going to see that your shoulders relax and you just start speaking naturally. Dr. Dill, can you comment on that? I mean, you've been doing, I don't know how many videos you've done.
Eventually, the camera just becomes your best friend. At first, you're like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And you're like staring at the lens and you're like seeing a little white light in that lens. And you're having a hard time concentrating on what it is you're trying to say. But I think for me, I started shooting training videos in-house. That's where, because I was a horrible editor, I would like delete and then shoot it over again. I think I got really good on the camera with just a bunch of like screw ups. And then when I started shooting for, social media, patient education and stuff like that, it just clicked.
And amazing. And then you were like nice and relaxed, so professional and, in front of 640 attendees this last week. And you've spoken at, our owners conference and our recent office manager boot camp at MGE. So, it's a skill. Would you say that has a skill outside of public speaking? Has that helped you in other areas? Do you think that's a good skill to have?
Oh, I think it's a fantastic skill to have. Tomorrow, I'm on the radio with one of our personalities here in Chattanooga. And then Thursday, I go down to the news. And it's just the reality of like what we have to do as business owners. And I think even more so in the years to come, because with video, people want to see you and they want to hear from you. They connect with you online. So, and then they show up in your practice.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
This is the same way that Google and all the AI engines feel too, is that they want to know who you are and they want to know that this is a valid, credible source. And everything that is said by Dr. Rich in this video that I'm about to play is therefore original. Meaning he's not reading a script that 10 other doctors have read. He's answering commonly asked questions, which those of you on our Gold platform, that's what we do. We send you the most searched for questions on Google and other platforms, and you just answer them clinically and, just kind of socially. How would you answer that question if a patient asked you that question? So now I'm going to share this again, and I'm going to try to do so with high quality audio.
Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Rich from Salvatore Dental. I wanted to speak to you today about the effect that our full mouth implant rehabs have on our patients. Particularly the question we always get is how and why does the patient's face look completely different? It's a really, really valid and good question because a lot of times you see our before and after pictures and it literally looks like a different human being from the before to the after. And this was a little puzzling to me at first, honestly. I got into full mouth rehabilitation with implants about 5 years ago or so. And I always knew that my patients' functionality, meaning their ability to chew and eat and finally have corn on the cob steak and chicken would be there. I know that they'd have a more beautiful smile because we're fixing all the teeth. But I didn't realize kind of the bigger effect of how it would have on the entire face and honestly on the entire person. As funny as that sounds. It's kind of like a discovery I made here while helping my patients. The one way that I look at it now is that patients, their appearance is tied to their teeth, both physically and as funny as it sounds, mentally. And a lot of times, if you have a person who's never struggled with your teeth, the mental part would be like, yeah, I don't know, that doesn't really make any sense. They got some bad teeth, get them fixed. But when you're really struggling with your teeth your whole life, you're in pain, you're unable to smile in photos with family, it really does have a mental toll on my patients. So going towards the physical part. So the physical part, of course, is that we fix a smile, the patient looks happier and has a nice, beautiful teeth. But the strange thing is that it does actually change the face of some of my patients. The reason being is a lot of times our mouth and our teeth is what gives our face the actual structure. Kind of a silly example that I can use is that Wicked Witch of the West face that we know. We always see a witch and for some reason, she's got the drawn in cheeks, this big pointy chin. And believe it or not, that's from tooth loss. So some of the original witches, maybe in Salem back in the day, who knows, might not have had any teeth. Then what happens is the teeth go away, and as the teeth go away, the bone also goes away. Our body, when they see that there's no teeth, thinks that we don't need bone in our mouth. So the bone goes away. And the way that it shrinks it's interesting. It actually, the top jaw where the teeth are will shrink in and up, and the bottom jaw kind of stays out. So over time, it looks like the chin is coming out and the top's going in, but it's just the way that we call it resorption. Another thing that happens, which makes it look kind of like that face, is that we're losing some vertical, meaning the way we close now, we got no teeth. So we can actually close our mouth more and more and more, and you can get that scrunched look of your face. So if your face is losing both vertical, meaning you can now have a scrunchier face, and horizontal like this, the whole face collapses. What happens when the face collapses? You look definitely older, you have more wrinkles, even your eyes can have more dark circles under them, and everything kind of looks collapsed and falls on itself. And this is one thing that we associate with older age because we're getting wrinkles, we're getting, kind of the skin is a little bit more saggy, etc. So a lot of our patients who have tooth loss, even being in their 20s or 30s, can start to get a much older look on their face. So what happens when we restore their teeth with implants, we're not just restoring their teeth.
So now I'm pausing this. I hope you are all counting the keywords here. We have bone loss, tooth loss, wrinkles, look older. All of these things are being said and are therefore words. I'm just going to move over to the website here. We have taken this and we have transcribed everything here. This is a massively valuable page because it's transcribed original authoritative content that has keywords all riddled through this. So what does that mean for Google, for search engines and that sort of thing? A piece of content like this, where the doctor is just free form going, just kind of riffing on a subject or an area, but it has all these keywords. What impact do you think that's going to have?
It's huge. I mean, again, people are wondering what's changed with this and that with AI and SEO, but when it comes down to it, most of the things are the same, and content is king. I'm sure everyone's heard that. It's still, you can be cited in other places and other authorities can say that, but if it points back to your website and you don't have something for Google or ChatGPT or the other AIs to scan and see that you're legitimate, there's nothing there for you to prove it. So it's huge.
So what we're doing is we're creating these anchors of context in your website. And then what they did is they took and they cut this up into, I think they're up to about 8 videos or 6 videos for this small 6.5-minute video, taking little gems out of it. And those are being run on social media. So when AI goes out and searches all over the place, it's finding this in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, both the shorts and the full video. And then, of course, the website. And it all points back to Salvatore Dental. I guess one thing that Alan and I want to go over with you is that, yes, AI is massive. It is massive. The changes are massive. Can you just run AI and just have like some, I press click and AI runs my marketing? Or do you have to do more today?
I mean, you could do that, but it would be extremely dangerous, and the probabilities of it working would be very low. So I'm sure a lot of people have experienced, you use ChatGPT or whatever tool you're using, you ask it a question, and a lot of what it wants to do is just tell you that you're right, and will just give you a solution. And, people have experienced hallucinations. Like, it's not something that you can fully trust. You still need an expert to validate it. They're great tools, but they're tools that you want someone who knows what they're doing to use. I could ask ChatGPT how to do implants. How scary is that thought? Like, you don't want someone in their basement that's telling you that they're going to charge you $300 a month to do your marketing because they're using AI. It's a great tool and it makes it faster, easier, more comprehensive, but you need an expert to navigate that and also see when it tells you something that isn't correct and push back and alter the plan that it gives you. So
I think that's a great point. It's called AI hallucination, and that's where AI invents stuff. Raise your hand if you've seen AI hallucination, where AI is inventing stuff that actually is not true. So that's one thing. It's self-validating, meaning not to itself, but to you. You're going to write something to AI, and AI is going to come back and give you a little shoulder rub and a pat on the shoulder and put a smile on your face. AI is there currently not to be necessarily the most truthful. It's to make you feel good. It's going to not necessarily do what you think it might be doing for your business. That's why every bit of content you generate that you have AI assist, 100% use AI, but do not let that go without checking it out. What we're going to do is we're going to go over a couple things that are commonly asked questions. What are the biggest misconceptions businesses have right now? And this is a white paper we're doing right now. Biggest misconception is that AI made marketing automatic. A lot of business owners are seeing videos and sales pitches that suggest AI can now run everything: SEO, ads, content, websites, messaging, and even strategy. And it's simply just not true. AI can absolutely help. In the hands of an experienced team, it can improve speed, efficiency, research, monitoring, and production. But AI does not remove the need for, and I want you to listen to these points: strategy, quality control, industry knowledge, business judgment, human review, and brand protection. All of those things are absolutely in a liability of being damaged if you just turn AI loose. So please do not just write something with AI about, teeth whitening or veneers without your doctor first checking it over. First, it's got to be valid for your practice. Is that something that you guys do or don't do? And then secondly, is that valid? Is it true? So that's that. What's changed with Google's AI results? So now that's at the top of every Google search. Well, increasingly answering questions through AI generated summaries. And I actually enjoy it. I think it's great. For businesses, that creates two realities at once. And I just want to go through this with you. First, some traditional clicks are being reduced. And if some of you are seeing some of your organic traffic reducing, getting less, the number of organic visits. Yeah, well, partly because a lot of the data that's being supplied is being answered. And this is mostly for people who are just asking questions. They're not necessarily looking for a dental practice. They ask a question. They don't have to go to your website to get that question answered, which actually saves you from this false impression that you're getting less organic visits. You're getting less organic visits. Everybody is in every industry. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's totally true. I mean, there's more people searching and using, the internet than there ever has been.
Right.
But again, it's not something to be reasonable. You don't want your stats to crash, but you're going to see that there are people, less people clicking. There's AI overviews. There's ChatGPT giving answers to stuff. But again, if someone's search intent is just to get their question answered, you're not really missing out on them going to your website. That's a different person booking, especially if they're getting an answer and I'm searching from Florida and you're based in Virginia or something like that. So
Right. But it is giving them authority and credibility.
Correct.
And so being there is important. not necessarily having to answer the question by that person visiting your site is okay. But now second, I said there were two things. Second is it's just kind of a new place to win visibility. Like that AI search summary is not like, oh my gosh, now I'm not, showing up as on as many organic searches. No, you are. It's just being answered in that AI summary. And this is an opportunity for you to have clear content that answers real questions. I'm going to say that point one more time. This is an opportunity for you to have clear content that answers those questions. In order to do that, you're going to have a strong website structure, authority and credibility. So please do not use AI to write your website content. Please, please, please. Like what Alan said earlier, we're looking for trust signals that you're a valid authority, not just from your website, but from all over the web. And that's what premium SEO does. A lot of you are premium SEO clients and you know this. We're getting you these validations outside of your website. We first optimize your website, but now we're putting credibility about you all over in places that are trusted by AI and Google. So that's what that is. Now, this is an interesting one. If AI makes work faster, why doesn't SEO become dirt cheap?
I would say basically the same thing. Is they're tools that make things easier. They're tools that make things we can track better. We can see if something went down on your website, but you have to, like I said, be found in more places. Google isn't just searching your reviews in your website anymore. It's searching hundreds or thousands of other websites. You have to be found on Reddit. You have to be found on Quora. You have to have citations on all the different listings. There's a lot that goes into it. There's more visibility than there ever has been.
And it needs a person.
Yes, and you need an expert again to do it. You have to have someone who knows what they're doing. You can't just set AI and have it run. It's a dangerous place to be if you're doing that.
Yeah, if Google sees that, you could potentially be penalized by Google. Now, I want you all to listen up on this. AI doesn't know best practices with Google for whatever reason. I mean, there was that leak. Remember the Google leak? So you would think that AI would have taken all that in and do that. But of course, that leak was 2 years ago now. But AI doesn't think with that logic base that Google has of best practices. I think it's about 125 pages covering about 236 different things that you need to do for best practices for search engine optimization and having a great web presence. And I know this is deep into the weeds. A lot of you are like, what are we doing? What are we talking about? Necessary to know because if you are doing things like this came up recently with one of our practices. They were doing so because I said to have a game where you can put a person's name into a box for reviews. You put your name in a box after you leave a review. We draw your name out of the box. You win that. We're going to give somebody a free toothbrush or whatever, an iPad or whatever. Google found that out and then docked that practice about 60 reviews as a penalty. Said that that's against Google's best practices and that you cannot be incentivizing anybody for a review. Prior to that, Google was just like, listen, you can't pay somebody for a review. You can't give a $5 Starbucks card. Now you can't do any sort of incentivization to the consumer, in your case, to the patient. You can incentivize your team. So you can say, listen, hey, we're playing a game. If we get 10 reviews in the office this week, the doctor's going to buy us all Starbucks. Can you help us win? Yeah. And that patient, can you say, yeah, it can be a game internal to you. It cannot be an incentive. So that's a new regulation. For whatever reason, AI doesn't know those different regulations. And if you get penalized by Google, you can lose reviews. You could be downgraded. You could be put on page 2, page 6, or what's the worst case scenario?
I mean, they could essentially take you off the internet. Those are all bad penalties. But if you're, and it could take 12, 18 months to get back if you can. And all of the work that you've done, it's just, again, doing black hat, things that are dangerous like that are not worth it.
And what Alan's referring to is called black hat SEO. It is the quick, easy way to cheat Google. And guess what? AI knows how to do that.
Yeah.
So AI is going to say, oh, you want me to get you to rank? I can get you to rank. Yeah, here we go. You just do this. You trick Google. It doesn't think with the potential consequences and ramifications of that. So be very, very, very wary of the person who says, I can get you to, page 1 on Google and be searching for, at the top of the search for ChatGPT and Claude and all this stuff. Be very wary of that person who says they could do that in a month, because there's just no way you can. And if you did, and the person did what's called black hat SEO, like unethical practices in Google's eyes, you could end up completely removed from Google. We're going to put a little pause in all the stiff and stuffy stuff. Next is we're going to do some mystery calls, because that's what we do and that's fun.
Cool.
Yeah. So Amy and Miriam, how do we choose? We're going to call one of your competitors. You get to put a competitor in the chat. We're going to choose who gets to do that. And we're going to call your competitor and see how they do. And then we're going to rate them. This, Dr. Dill, I don't think you've ever seen this. This is the cringy part, but it's also kind of fun, but it's also kind of cringy. All right. So Miriam and Amy, or do you want me to just rip and run?
Yeah, we're going to do it. So we're just giving permission. So Boyana, bring up our spinning wheel so we're going to choose from those that are in attendance, those that registered ahead of time. Your name went in a little secret place and we made a wheel so that we're going to be choosing one of whomever wins your competitor to do the mystery call.
Yeah. So everybody right now start searching or getting in mind who's the competitive dental practice that you want to have me call, because I'm going to act like a patient. By the way, there are 14 states in the United States that I cannot call. We call that dual consent recording states. And if you are in any of the following states, I cannot call there: California, Delaware, Florida, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Washington. In that case, I need 2 parties to concede, myself and then, of course, the person I'm calling. So what do we got here?
Spin the wheel.
Spin it.
Spin it. I'm getting dizzy.
Okay, good. Now stop.
Okay.
Dr.
Koros.
Hidayati, where is your
Okay.
practice located? Tell us.
Tell us in what practice you want us to call. And if this takes really long, y'all can just start putting in the practice. Put
Now,
the
if
name
you
of the
didn't
practice,
answer-
city, and state. Put the name of the practice, city, and state in the chat right now. I'm going to call them. Okay, Fairfax, Virginia. Can I call Virginia? I can call Virginia. Okay, Koros, do you have a practice you want me to call? Okay, I'm going to just choose
Hi,
one.
Dan. How about Oakstone Family?
Okay, that's not your practice, right?
No.
Okay, good. Listen, they're killing it with 1,400 reviews. I mean, wow. Okay, but I'm going to give them a call. Let's see how they do. Maybe they're really super jacked and they're awesome. So let's see. I'm going to put the rating on the screen, and you're all going to score it with me as we go along.
Thank you for calling. Please listen carefully as our options have changed. If you are a new patient, please press 1. For an existing patient, please press 2. And for the financial department, please press 3. Sorry we missed your call.
Oh.
All team members are currently assisting other patients. Please leave a brief voice message or text us at 70.
10 out of 10.
Okay, so what's our rating, folks? Yeah. Listen, and what's the point of this? Here's the point. Think about how much this practice might be spending on marketing. I mean, it's a big practice. It's a decent practice. They've got good reviews and such. But what's a typical Virginia acquisition cost? I mean, $300, $400
At least, yeah.
for a new patient. So say that person might have spent whatever they spent to get either an implant lead to call or whatever. First, we got a recording. Press 1 if you're a new patient. Press new if you're a patient of record. Press 3 if you want to. What if I'm none of those? What if I just, how much does a crown cost in the practice? I'm not a new patient. I haven't determined I am. I'm not an existing patient. I'm out right there. Then it rang. How many times did it ring before the recording picked it up? I think it was
6, yeah. 6 or
6.
7.
I'm hanging up at 3. Then we got a recording. Miriam, what's going to happen when a person gets a recording 80% of the time?
I'm going to hang up the phone and call the next best person who will answer the phone and
That's right.
answer all of my questions.
That's right. That's right. So we want to put attention on marketing. We want to spend on marketing. But if you don't have this part of the sales cycle under control, because the sales cycle starts way before the patient arrives. The sales cycle starts back at the marketing, and then the phone call, and then what does the receptionist do or say? So we're going to give Virginia one more chance here. Yeah, and if you do have a time where your staff are busy, you guys shut down for an hour for lunch, I just hope you don't. Or you have after hours and it's not being manned. Miriam, what should they do?
Use the AI reception version to collect any and all data.
That's right.
For those of our clients that already use it, we can program this thing, and Dan has put all the specifications in place so you can fully program it, not only to speak, I think, over 40 languages at this point. I tested it in German. We had staff members test it in Spanish. We have a client using it that uses Chinese, right? It really works, switches over to the applicable language, then transcribes everything, and it collects any and all key bullet points And you can also set it up so that it tentatively schedules the person. So if they say, I'd like to come in on Tuesday at 2:00, they'll be told that a member of the team will call them back to confirm that exact appointment. But it's a really, really good tool secondary to having a live person answer the phone.
Yeah, 80% of voicemails, somebody gets a voicemail, 80% of those calls could just get hung up on. So even after hours and weekends, you should have something like that. Okay, good. Let's call the next one. Let's see what happens. Quiet now.
Thank you for calling our practice. For quality assurance, this call may be recorded. If you're an existing patient of our practice, please press 1. If you are a new patient or would like information regarding scheduling an appointment, please press 2.
This call is recorded for quality and training purposes.
We know.
Hello, this is Audit from Fairfax Dental Center. How can I help you today?
Yeah. Is this the dentist?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm just curious what you guys charge for a crown.
If we do a porcelain crown without insurance, let me check. It would be $1,756, but you don't have insurance?
I don't have insurance. No.
What you usually do, we offer a 10% courtesy if you're paying out of pocket, just because you guys don't have insurance. So it'll be like $1,580 for the crown.
Okay. All right. That makes sense. I mean, it's a pretty good price. I've been calling around. Do you guys do those invisible braces?
Invisalign, yeah. We do. We have an orthodontist who comes in on Saturdays once a month, and he does the cases for us.
Heck yeah. Yeah, because I was, I was about to go forward with getting some invisible braces, and then I went in and they said I'm a heavy grinder and I got cracks in my back teeth and I needed to get those fixed. And so then they told me how much a crown was, and they said I needed 4 crowns. So now it's like that plus the invisible braces. It's just a lot of money. So do you know roughly how much your invisible braces cost roughly?
I don't, just because it ranges a lot depending on the patient's treatment.
Yeah.
How long it'll take. Depending, I guess it's the orthodontist
Yeah.
job, to be honest. So
Yeah.
he just lets us know and we go from there.
Okay. Well, listen, you definitely have the better pricing and stuff. Doctor there pretty good?
It's amazing. The
Okay.
best.
Is it you?
But yeah, I mean, again, if you'd love to, you can read the reviews on Google. Most of the people that have been here for like 15, 20 years. So, I mean, I'll stand by it.
Okay. Fantastic. Loved it. Well, I'm just calling around. I appreciate all that. What would be my next step if I did want to go forward with you guys?
If you want to start with the crowns, usually we start with an exam, depending on it is, just because we trust other doctors, but we like to verify. So you would come in for just an exam with the doctors. Have you had your cleaning recently? We usually do them together, but if you've had your cleaning very recently, then no need to do that. We just do the exam.
Yeah, I had my cleaning. I had my cleaning, and that's when they, and I was going to go forward with the invisible braces, and then they said, yeah, I got to do those crowns and stuff like that. How much is the initial exam with you?
Let me see. It would be so out of pocket. It would be $141, but with the 10%, it'll be $126.90.
Okay.
But so let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Right? Let me be honest with you. If you're gonna do a crown, you're probably gonna need it built up as well. So usually it's depending on the tooth structure, more like I'd say 90% of the time.
Okay.
They have to add that as well, just because the tooth structure is too weak to hold the crown.
Sure.
So would be $405 per crown, and it would be $365 basically with the 10%. But we have for people that don't have insurance, we usually offer an in-house plan. So it's kind of like, it's always worth it if you're going to stay with us for a year at least, because it covers 2 cleanings, 2 exams, any x-ray that would be needed, an emergency visit as well with any x-rays needed for that. And instead of the 10% courtesy we usually give, it'll be 20% instead.
Okay.
So if you end up wanting to do the crowns, I'd heavily encourage you to do the in-house plan as well.
Yeah,
so
it makes a lot of financial sense. So that's great. I appreciate that.
Of course.
Awesome.
Anything else I can help you with?
No, that's perfect. Thank you.
Sounds good. Then you have a great rest of your day, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Okay. So out of 50 points, that's what I score. I don't know what you all think. Thumbs up if you think that's an accurate score. Thumbs down if you think he did better than that. I think, listen, heck of a nice guy. Just a nice guy. I would say friendly, upbeat, and caring. I put it 4. Maybe I'd even give him 5 on that one.
He started very slow.
He started slow,
I think
yeah.
you piqued his interest and you got him to a
Yeah.
5. Maybe.
I'm not going to get, competent professional. I give him 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Never asked my name. Never got the best number to call me back. And control and efficient. A little bit slow in getting to the answers. I wouldn't be answering that question, how much crown costs. But
also getting into the insurance and the whole getting into their plan.
Yeah.
I think it's a little premature.
That's
over
done
the
in the
phone.
practice.
It starts dragging, and I'm thinking of all the future costs and stuff that I have to go through. So I think it's not the time.
Yeah. And how many of you actually do a free second opinion? Raise your hand. Yeah, you got to. Here I am, a potential patient. I just went to another practice. I'm now a little bit in sticker shock of how much it costs. And then say I was a real patient. All I'd have to do is say, come on in, let's have a look at it.
Yeah.
And he would have to ask, but he didn't ask. So there you go on that. So put it in the chat, y'all. Let's go through this. I would love you to tell me what you think was probably the key thing that he should have done the most out of that phone call. Put it in the chat right now. What's the one key thing you think is the most important thing that he should have done that he didn't do? Because this one key thing I'm thinking of, you can make a lot of errors, but if you do this one thing, try to get you in. Thank you. Yeah, ask you to book at the end. Exactly, Dr. DeMarco. Yeah, schedule me. Exactly. If you schedule the person, I don't care what your points were before that, but he didn't even ask. He didn't even ask. So there's our mystery call. I got a couple more things to talk about on SEO, but Miriam and Amy, I think you had some things you want to cover.
Yeah, we do. First and foremost, can you guys open your mics so that we go to Amy Eveland from Dr. Burden's many offices. She brought 17 staff to this webinar, all the doctors and OMs.
Holy cow. Give them a huge hand. Well done, guys. Nice
and I'm
job.
Doing this is Greek because we have some new staff. That is amazing.
I want to see them. Can they open the mic? I want to see this crew.
Several have their own cameras.
Oh my gosh. You guys look amazing. You look amazing. That's the way to do a lunch and learn right there. Fantastic. Okay. So Amy, Elizabeth, what's next?
Okay. So, all right, Daniel Brown. The next thing is, so we had a VIP game, very important. I mean, all of you guys are VIPs. MG had an office manager's boot camp in March. So I gave those that are our clients little stuffy babies is what we call them. We have a group thread. It's gone out of control. The purpose was to ignite their social media, name their stuffy baby, put them all over the practice doing various things. And they brought it. These guys brought it. So I'd like to announce the stuffy baby winner is Burden. So this isn't rigged, you guys. I want to tell you, this is a special shout out for Sharon, who is next level because she brought her stuffy baby all over town. She brought it to do woodworking. I mean, you name it. There are pictures all over the practice. She did a whole thesis that apparently the stuffy baby wrote that then went on social media. You guys are awesome and you win. So I'm going to announce the other winners. Everyone clap and do the thing. Come on, they deserve this. They worked hard. Let me tell you, they worked hard. Second place, and Gloria, she better be here. Or is yours a she or a he? Where are you, Gloria? Open your mic.
Okay, there. I couldn't find the button. I'm
Here's
here.
your stuffy baby.
Mario, do you have I'm in another room. Mario's in the conference room. I think Mario has my baby.
So Gloria and Andre Jones got their little stuffy is a carrot. And the name again?
Hit. Oh, here he comes.
Yeah.
We got it.
So this is the whole thing. So you guys are second place. Very well done.
Woohoo! Well, can I just add that this is the fake baby, but the real baby is.
Aww. Love that. Everybody give her a big round of applause. She got another one coming, another addition to that family. Well done.
That's a lucky baby, let me tell you. That is a lucky
Thanks,
baby.
guys.
Indeed. Indeed.
And third place, Mariah, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Hi.
Hello.
Mariah from Dr. Perry's office is representing. So Abby, who is the COO of Dr. Stephen Perry's office, they have an Buzzard.
Yes,
right
Buzzard.
name. The fact that I remember Buzzard is a bee, stuffy baby, and they are the third place winners. And Abby brought it. There's some photos that I'd like to show you. Boyana, can you throw the photos up just so everyone can see how awesome these guys are? All of them. I'm not even lying, you guys. This is about 5% of all the work Sharon and their stuffy baby did to dominate social media and bring it in all ways. The next one, Boyana, this is Inspire Dental. This is Pip. And if you guys know Gloria, she's very creative. So he's eating cookies, he's making coffee. I don't know what he's doing with all the cereal. He's stuck in a popcorn machine. I guess that's what that is. I don't even know. And then he was getting treatment in the office, helping at the front desk. And then the third place, Perry. Okay, this is Buzzard, everyone. And it's not shown here, but one time Abby put it in the back of Doctor's backpack. So he walked wherever, when he had his backpack, he didn't know that the stuffy baby was stuck in there and she was taking pictures of him. He had no idea. And that went on social media.
Hey, give them a hand. Nice.
And then we have the last game is the selfie, bringing the spring joy selfie. And are you at all surprised that it is the same? It is Amy Evelyn, the COO of Dr. Burden's office. And that's her with her stuffy baby. And the stuffy baby, obviously it's a bunny, but he has a hat. I mean, she got him a hat. Okay. So this is the April Spring Selfie Challenge winner, and you rock, Amy, and we love you. Thank you for all the hard work. You and Sharon are the best.
Nice job, guys. Nice job. Okay, good. So now back to business. I'm going to get into some key tactical things. So folks, this is the time to listen up because these are your marching orders for the coming month. I'm going to get into the things that you need to think about, what you need to do from an SEO perspective. First of all, video. It's such a big opportunity right now for so many different reasons. It's one of the most efficient ways to create trust at scale. A business can answer common questions, reduce fear, demonstrate expertise, and create familiarity before a prospect ever makes contact. I want you to think about you as a consumer. How many times did you go researching and shopping and such and use video to help you make a decision, either to choose what business or what product or service before you ever talked to the company or any company? Raise your hand if that's happened to you. You used video and you did research before you even called the company. Good. So think about that. Reverse engineer that right now. That means you need to be there for everything you could imagine. Whitening, straightening, cleaning, tooth replacement, veneers, all on 4, all on X, implants. That's going to be in your website. That's going to be in social media. It's going to be part of your frequently asked questions, blog support content. That's stuff that you will use in emailers. You know, you're going to email out and do text campaigns and that sort of thing. So what content should you be creating? This is your list. Get your pencils out, make your list. Those of you on the Gold platform, these videos must be made and sent to your account manager so that we can get them processed, where we get them transcribed and posted on your website, both the video and the transcript with all the optimization for SEO. So common fears. What are the common fears of dentistry? You don't need me to answer that. You know what they are. Common objections. On the first one, write down what are the common fears. You hear them all the time. Write them down. Do a video about the fears and how you put those fears to rest. Common objections. What are the common objections you hear all the time? And we'll just list them right here. I mean, you can think of them. Too much.
It's too expensive.
Too expensive.
I don't have time.
I don't have time. I'm too old. I could die next week. Here's one. Let me talk to my spouse. It's another one.
That was fun.
That was it?
Yeah.
How about this one? I think I want to think about it. I just want to do what the insurance covers. And on that, you just say, listen, a common objection we hear at ABC Family Dentistry is, I just want to do what the insurance covers. And boy, do we understand that. We also want to maximize your insurance and your coverage. And we do everything we can to really just wring out of them as much as we can. But the fact of the matter is insurance is only going to cover you so far. And insurance doesn't really care if your teeth fall out of your head. In fact, insurance wins if you end up in a denture when you're 55 years old. Insurance is actually doing better if you're in a denture, because then that's it. There's no more teeth to protect. Believe it or not, that's how insurance works. We at ABC Family Dentistry, we want you to have your teeth, and we want them to be in good shape. Your teeth and gums in a healthy state mean you're going to live longer, and independent studies show that. People with unhealthy teeth and unhealthy gums are more prone to all manner of systemic conditions, including but not limited to diabetes, heart disease, Alzheimer's, dementia. They've found links to just about everything you can imagine for people who have unhealthy teeth and gums. So here at ABC Family Dentistry, we want you to live a long, healthy life. So we're going to give you treatment that's going to be in alignment with that, whereas insurance, not so much. So that would be a video that so many of you could pump out. And it doesn't have to be all polished and Dan Brown-esque. Listen, I say this about 1 million times a year. So if it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, it's because I have to present on this stuff. But even if you're just talking like you would talk to a patient, do that, but do it on video. Okay, good. So we have common fears, common objections, service explanations. Tell me the difference between a traditional crown and bridge solution for a missing tooth and an implant. Tell me the difference between Invisalign and traditional braces, and when would each be a good idea? And when would each be a not so good idea? So service explanations, just like Dr. Rich did in the beginning of this, he's explaining full mouth restoration and what it does to the face and stuff. He's just riffing. He's just talking.
Yeah.
What are some other ones, some other subjects?
You could do, obviously, setting expectations, what to expect when you come in the office, or what to expect when, on procedures. That's hugely helpful.
Yeah, maybe even after procedures, like what to expect after I get Invisalign and what.
Yeah, exactly. And some of these things can be the same thing. So what to expect, you can talk about that, and that can handle objections or fears or anything like that as well.
Idea. Great point.
Pricing context is obviously important. Again, you don't want to list out all your pricing, but give some kind of an idea so they can know what to expect again.
I think this is a great point, and what Alan just said. So pricing context isn't like Alan says, we're not don't give your prices. What we're talking about is in that moment of, that person finds out what it costs, instinctively, they're, I don't have the money, and they're going to want to shop you. So what are they going to find when they shop you? They're going to find out that you're not the most expensive, but you're also not the cheapest. They're going to find out that they might be able to do this out of the country. Talk on those points. Hey, listen, we're certainly not the cheapest, but we're also not the most expensive. And why might we be a little bit more expensive than the place down the road? Well, here at ABC Family Dentistry, we know that if you need dentistry, you're probably not happy to hear that. But you certainly don't want to have to come back here to redo that dentistry. So we don't compromise on materials, on cement, on the things necessary to put that dentistry in your mouth and keep it there for as long as it possibly can be. We go high end, high grade on all of our materials. And some practices cheap out on that stuff to get their prices lower. And, that might fit some people. Predominantly our patients, they want dentistry that's going to last as long as it can. And we also hear some of our patients, well, what if I go down to Mexico? Or what if I go to India? Or what if I go to Hungary or Turkey or whatever? And certainly is an option. That certainly is an option. And maybe you need a trip out of the country. I just don't know if you want it to be around dentistry. Because first of all, they don't have the same requirements when it comes to hygiene and health standards and medical standards that are mandated here in the United States. We've had patients come back from Mexico that, the needle wasn't properly sterilized and they ended up with lockjaw. That lasted one of our patients 3 months before they could actually chew food. And another one of our patients went and got, implants in another country, came back here, and not one dental practice in the United States that they visited would touch that, with the exception of removing it all and redoing it because that treatment was done so poorly. So if you're going to want to get that treatment maintained and such, you're probably going to have to go back to that country. So not what a lot of people want to do. So talk about pricing context because people can hear this. And yes, Amy says your account manager can help you with this. Great. Another thing, what's the recovery process after treatment, such as an implant, after, a root canal, after wisdom teeth being extraction, these sort of things. And then what are some other things people should think with?
The different options, again, if they come in and they're expecting an implant, or there's different, you want to talk about the different things that could relate to one another. And again, you will come across as an expert. You're explaining things to them. Maybe they won't remember that when they come in. But AI, Google, and the person themselves will see you as an expert. So
yeah, as an authority.
Yeah, as an authority, exactly. So any of those points are good.
Good. And then this is always a fun one. Myths and misconceptions. You know, a lot of people who haven't been to the dentist or hate going to the dentist, they went and something went wrong. And they think the needle is going to be about that long and about that thick. They think that you're going to be standing over their head with, you know, a pair of pliers and stuff. I would actually have some social media fun with that one. Do some video shorts on that. Salvatore guys, you guys could have some fun with that. You know, what people expect when they come to the dentist and what actually happens. Have some fun with that one. So those are just some different things. Remember, what you're doing with video is you're showing that you're authentic. It doesn't have to be perfect. If you stumble, if it's not all polished, that's actually okay. It shows that you're real. It's not some polished rendition. These aren't actors. These are the real people of the practice. It shows that, you know, that you're the experts. It positions you as the experts, not just with Google, but when the person gets the answer to their question, they go, wait a minute, these people are kind of cool. They're kind of nice. They're kind of fun. They got a sense of humor. They're not too scary. They're not condescending. They're actually okay. All right. So your assignment, your mission, if you choose to accept it, get some video content made before the end of the month. You got just about 10 days before the end of the month. Okay. No, not 10 business days, but you got 10 days. How long should a video be?
Content one?
Yeah, content video.
I mean, you do a 30 seconds. Do what's comfortable for you. You can do a 30-second one. You can do a 90-second one.
Yeah.
It just talk. I mean, you'll find probably that you want to get off camera maybe at first, but then you're talking and you maybe made a 10-minute video, but you could clip it and use it for social media, for the full thing for your website. Yeah.
I mean, when you did those videos that you did recently for Blumberg Digital, I mean, you were just riffing. And then at the end of it, I mean, were you surprised at how long they were?
They were long. Yeah.
They were long.
Yeah.
And, you know, Alan was like, I don't know that I could talk about this for that long. You'll be surprised. What you need is you need somebody behind the camera and just get something like this. Here's the camera. Here's your cameraman, you know, but if you have somebody behind the camera, they're sitting there and I'm going to do this so y'all can see how it should look. I like these tripods with the little magnetic thing. Get that camera going. Always shoot horizontal and watch me. The person behind the camera, their face is behind the lens. And they're doing this. It's a cheerleader and it gets you out of your head a little bit. Like Dr. Dill was talking about, you know, sometimes it's a little bit introverting. You're staring at a lens, the one-eyed monster, super unsympathetic and uncaring. And it's just looking at you like this. So yeah, get somebody behind the camera who's kind of egging you on and certainly not doing this expression. Look at me, everybody. Please, not this. Okay, so get a cheerleader behind the camera and do a couple videos and have some fun with it. Make some time for it. So the social media content, that's one, but take up some of these things and just do your best. I think it's probably going to be about somewhere around 5 to 10 videos where all of a sudden your shoulders are going to start to relax. And it's going to be more natural. Use your hands. I've seen people standing there with their, you know,
stiff. Yeah.
So I would like to talk to you today about dental insurance. My name's Dan Brown. No, just have some fun. Use your hands. Be natural. Just go with it. Okay, Amy, Miriam, anything you want to take up?
Yeah, so we would all love, and everyone reads this, just so you guys know, if you can send me any feedback you have from the webinar, whether good or bad, if you hated it, I know that you didn't. I'm putting my email again in the chat. So we would really, really appreciate that. And then the other thing, I texted you, Dan.
Okay, good. So on that point, here's what I want you all to think with. You're coming here to this webinar. One of the most valuable things I think Alan has said at this webinar is what is happening in SEO, all the usual stuff, just on a greater scale. So whatever you were doing in the past where you could survive on getting 2 or 3 reviews in a week, that's not cutting it anymore. You got to up this thing to like 5, 10, 15, 20. I'd be interested. How many Google reviews do you average in a week? Just post it in the chat. I got 7 to 10 from Melissa. I got 1 to 2 from Jawed. Got 1 from Ada. I got 12 from Gloria. 1 to 2 from Randy. 4 from Amy. 10 from Andrew. 5 from Kathleen and Beth. 2 from Karina. This is one of the most powerful and probably one of the most easiest to crank right now. And it is so So important. Why? It tells Google, well, what is it telling Google if they're getting reviews and if they're not getting reviews?
I mean, the number of reviews matters, obviously, but again, the velocity of them. If they keep coming in, it means that you are still getting people to give feedback, positive feedback, especially obviously the positive reviews is what we're talking about. But again, Google, ChatGPT, all of them take that into account. They all are looking in there. To me, I'm like, it is literally just a person on hyper speed that's going and checking. They're watching through videos. They're checking your reviews. They're checking, making sure that you're legitimate for you, the person who's searching.
He's nailed it.
Yeah.
It's hyper speed. It's doing it for you. But that means it has to be there. And what Alan just said is so important. It's not just that you guys got a lot of reviews. And I know most of you here have a lot of great reviews. Do you have the most reviews in your area? Boy, I hope so. And if you don't, that's a big deal. And it's a great game to play if you don't. Play a game and make it a big game for your team. Rock and roll. Second, you are good, but are you still good? What Alan just said, are you adding reviews routinely? That's telling Google. What is it telling Google? I keep adding reviews. What is it saying to Google?
You're actively, I mean, businesses change, and I'm sure everyone has experienced that, where you used to love a restaurant or love something and it falls off.
Right.
So the reviews change, and that has to be taken into account. I mean, that's for everyone's benefit that you're seeing that something is still good. So you can't sit on your haunches just because you have a high number. You have to keep it going.
So that's the easiest thing in the world you could handle right now. You could jump on that. Google reviews, more powerful than ever. Obviously, if your Yelp is in rough shape, and I know some of you have been like, we don't need Yelp. Yeah, you don't, because maybe people don't Yelp in your area. But guess what? Chat does. Chat and Gemini, the AI engines, they're checking your Yelp. So this is the time to go ahead and throw down. Do a campaign, add into your Google reviews. Now, are you a Yelper? And if the person looks at you like this, what? They're probably not a Yelper. And move on to to Google review. But if the person's like, yeah, totally. Yelp all day, man. Great. And get that person to leave a review. If they're not a Yelper and they leave a Yelp review, they're probably not going to show up because of Yelp's algorithm. So that applies for Google, Yelp, and Facebook. I don't want you getting any reviews anywhere else. Of course, WebMD and these other oones. Nextdoor, they don't really do dental reviews and stuff, but Nextdoor is now starting to show on some of the AI searches. I don't think dental's there, but boy, if dental starts to pick up in your area for Nextdoor, get on Nextdoor. I think that's our next up and comer. But right now, the big three, Google, Yelp, and Facebook in that order. If your Yelp profile is in trouble, jump on Yelp and look for Yelpers. Yeah. So all the usual stuff that we've been telling you to do for how many years now, Amy, Alan? How many years have we been telling you to do this stuff?
7.
8 years.
8
plus,
years.
Yeah.
It's just now on hyper volume because just like Alan said, and you said it so well, Chat, Gemini, Grok, all of these engines are doing exactly what the consumer did, just on hyperspeed.
Yeah.
And it's looking for that authentic, genuine content. They're reading testimonials, literally transcribing the testimonial video so the person doesn't have to watch it. And rock and roll.
It's doing it for you. And then also, again, people are still doing that themselves. They still want to, those things matter to Google and to all the AIs, but they matter to the people as well. If someone's going to be in your mouth and you're going to spend thousands of dollars on something,
that's right.
You're going to look through more videos. You're going to read through the website. It's so important.
So important. Now look at what Janelle just said. Look at that. I'm so glad she reminded us. Apple business.
Yeah.
Can you talk on it? Something new that just came up.
Yeah. So we sent an email out on this recently. So Apple Business is basically like the new Google business profile for Apple Maps and all the Apple services. They just launched Apple Business, I think April 14th last week. And it's for the up and coming. Apple Maps is going to have ads rolling out, which is huge. Think of Google Maps. Apple Maps has their own huge platform, and there's not a lot of content on that out yet, but it is going to be another channel that people are looking through. Like I said, there's more places to find you now than ever.
Yep.
And that's another one. Apple Maps, or the Apple profile is free.
Yep.
If you have questions, you can email me. Someone can put that in there and I can give the instructions.
And your account managers. This is so important. Get all over that. Marketing isn't who's best. Marketing is who's first and who's loudest. So be there first and be there loudly. A couple other questions. Dan, can you go over the Google policy about asking for reviews and going away prizes? Anything, the terms of service of Google include you cannot incentivize the consumer, in your case, the patient, for reviews in any way, shape, or form. Amy, Evelyn, back from, the days that we were doing it, you remember when you showed me how to do it? Amy Evelyn, the one who showed me how to do the game to like enter into a raffle. And, she's the original. Everybody thinks Dan Brown's got this amazing Google game. I stole it.
That's part of it. I think we do this and we learn everyone's games and then we share it.
And we share
people come up with great ideas.
Right. And I'm now admitting that she was the source of that 6 years later. But that right there, it wasn't direct incentivization to the Google user, but now Google views that as that game is beneficial to one person. So what can you do? You can ask for the review and you can have a game internally and the person can help you win your own game, but they can't benefit or not benefit from it because they left a review. I hope that helps. Okay, good. And then somebody asked about in-house game to promote Invisalign. What we're going to do is I'm going to see if I can get Dr. Mark Dill back here and talk to you about his referrals and specifically these type games, or we'll just do it on the next one, internal and referral games, because your team, your staff, think about what you're paying to get a new patient these days. It isn't cheap. What if you could pay your staff those hundreds of dollars instead of Google those hundreds of dollars? Boy, your staff are going to love it. Your patients are going to love it. So we're going to take that up. Thank you for that wonderful question. Well, I think that is it. We're at 128. What do you think about the format where we're just kind of sitting here rapping? Should I let Alan come back or should I, come back and... Okay. All of your juniors are giving you a thumbs up.
Good. No one's fired today.
Yeah, nobody's fired today. Okay, good. All right. Well, folks, this has been a great webinar. I don't know, Miriam, Amy, you got anything you want to finish up with or close off with?
No, as always, you can always reach out to us. Everything that we covered today, we can go over that with you in detail for your own practice on a one-on-one strategy meeting, right? So that we can tell you keywords being searched for, what's important to look for in your specific geographical zone, what works for your practice, what are other dentists doing, what are your competitors doing, and so forth. So as usual, we'll put my email in the chat box. So if you want that, reach out and we'll set it up for you.
I do want to encourage everybody. I gave you the tactical list. Go get videos done. Please just have some fun with that. Go get videos done. Just do a bunch of video. For those of you on the Gold platform, send it into your account manager. We're going to transcribe it. We're going to code it to your website so that it's optimized and Google and every other AI engine can read it really easily and it's really well indexed. And for those of you who aren't on the Gold platform, please reach out to us. I wish we could say that we had predicted all this back when we created this. It was a good idea because people wanted to be found for something and then they would probably they probably wouldn't read the content. They'd want to watch the video. Yeah. So we created the Gold platform for you. Now it's our most powerful asset in this AI evolution. So jump on board on that. The value of it is it's immeasurable. So good webinar. Good to see everybody here. Hope you enjoyed it and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, everyone.